Welcome to Conrad with a K. My name's Conrad. It's spelled with a K. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, all the things. If you want to follow me on Instagram and you're watching on YouTube, there's the little thingy. If you are listening on Spotify, ConradAnderson. That's the username. Conrad Anderson minus the E. They took my old account away, so I had to make a new one. That's the closest I could get. We're going to start this episode with our weekly corruption update, and not going to go on long about this one because I covered it in a previous episode unknowingly because I didn't know this corruption was coming. But Tim Hortons has successfully lobbied our government to allow more temporary foreign workers to come in because otherwise their jobs are going to go unfilled and they're going to have to close a bunch of Tim Hortons. As I've said in previous episodes, the foreign temporary workers program is a closest to slavery as we can get in the West without it actually being slavery. The way the free market works is you list a job at this price, people get that job. If they don't want that job, then you have to raise your price to get people to want to work there. You don't get to import slaves for cheap labor and then say you're a great profitable business and how smart you are. No, you're actually a pretty horrible human being. That's not how business works. Anyone can get rich if you have slaves. So again, corporations paying off politicians for their favor. Clearly, bribery, it's what has always been happening. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows the system's broken, but no one wants to fix it. They just want to bitch. I'm trying to fix it. Alright? Only one man. I'm trying, though. This is all I can do is one man. Not Jason Bourne, and I have a broken fucking hand, so kind of limited in the abilities that I can do. But yeah, it's not a Canadian company, and it's going against Canadian interest. Fast food jobs are supposed to be for children, like for high schoolers. I worked in fast food when I was in high school. That's how you learn how to work. You show up, they pay you, you realize it's dog shit pay. That makes you want to learn skills and make more money. That made sense when I was a kid. I thought that's how life just always worked. Take a job, realize it's a shitty fucking job, develop skills, get a better job, rinse and repeat until you've found the job that you want or you're at the stage that you want. That's how life's supposed to work. Keep developing skills. Don't ask the government, don't want to be a perpetual child and have the government do everything for you. That's horrible. And if that is how you want to live, there's countries like that. You can fucking go there and see how awesome it is. I don't understand why people want to change the West. We had a good thing. Hasn't been a good thing for a while. I want to get back to that. I want to remind the politicians who they work for. I'm trying to get there. But like I said, I covered my thoughts on that program in my immigration episode. So I won't sit here too much on that. Let's get into this episode on government reform. Government has not been working in the best interest of its people for a long time. I think we can all be pretty honest about that. That's not hidden on either side. That's why millennials, we don't vote, because we've watched the entire system be broken the entire time. Well, Pierre, when he was on Joe Rogan, said that Canadians don't do a revolution. We do things through evolution, not revolution. The time for evolution is done. The Liberal government has shown through their aggressive floor-crossing tactics that they will bribe and backdoor deal anything they can to pass their bills of control on. Now that they have their majority after the by-election, there is no threat of a non-confidence vote. They just bought everyone they needed. So now we're going to see in rapid time, I promise you, in the next 2 to 3 years, we are going to have every sense of control taken away from us. They are just going to ram that down the pipe. I promise you. That's what's going to happen. And if they don't, hey, fuck me. I'm an idiot then. That's the best thing for all of us if they don't do that. But through what they've said and done, and I usually judge people on what they do, a little bit on what they say and then see if it follows through. But I'll believe people when they tell me who they are, but I judge people on what they do. If that makes sense. And the government hasn't been doing that. And I don't think it's very hard to fix. Like, I'm not saying we need to overhaul the entire fucking system. I think democracy has a lot of good aspects. I think there are some gaping holes, some giant flaws that could be patched up. I don't know why that's so impossible. Everyone seems to think that it's impossible. Look around. Everything you see, minus animals and trees, we've created. Someone thought it, someone wrote it down, and then they went and did that, whether it's a form of government, a form of markets, or a building, roadways, cars, planes, anything. And we've innovated. From the first guy who made a car to now, from the first guy who made a plane to now. Communism was in 1848. Not that fucking long ago that was a new thing, and now it's going everywhere. So why is everyone brainwashed all of a sudden to think that it's just impossible? We can't do it. We can do it, and the time for revolution is now. Evolution is past. Millennials, you didn't want to vote. I didn't want to vote. and now we have this shithole country. Now it's time for us to do something. Evil flourishes when good men do nothing. So now, because good men have done nothing for so long, it's time for those good men to do bad things and fix this fucking country. Number one on my list of government reform. Single ballot issues. Single ballot issues just make sense. If you disagree with that, I would love to hear it. I would love to, because I can't for the life of me think of a better first bill or first law to bring in right into a constitution in the new country is single issue ballots. Because the trick that they do is they'll put 3 things that most people want, and then they'll put one shitty thing that they know the other side doesn't want and will never vote for on the bill, and then that bill doesn't pass, and then they get to go, oh look, they're the bad ones, they don't want you to have this thing or this thing. And the other ones go, whoa, 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 we want that, but we don't want this one. And then they'll try to pass a bill, and then the other team does the same thing, and they go back and forth blaming each other. Nothing ever gets done, but it's a good dog and pony show to make us think they're actually working, as they both do it. That it shouldn't be a thing. You should have one issue on every bill. That's it. What are we tackling? Do we all agree on this? Yes or no? And then it's clear. Because when they had that bill where they reduced sentences on child porn, I would love to know which ministers wanted that. I think if you're a minister and you vote for that, you should be investigated immediately. So instead of having 3 things on a bill and getting them through and that one going, it's not that bad, like at least we're doing the other things. Dude, single fucking issue. And if you put out anything to do with pedophilia or kids or fucking child porn, and you are for lighter sentences on any of that in government, you're out of fucking government. Your job is to protect the people. If you clearly are making bills that do not protect the children, what the fuck are you doing there? Tell me that. It makes no sense. How are we voting for these people? How are these people not getting strung up? Death penalty for pedophiles. 100%. I don't know, why are we wasting tax dollars and trying to rehabilitate these people? You fuck with a kid, you get dead. That's it. So single ballot issues would change the game. There is no valid argument against it. It's the only thing that makes sense. It lays out exactly clearly who's voting for what, who believes in what, and lets you see and you judge if you want to vote that person again. So, single issue ballot. Number 2 on my list, no more parties. I don't like them. I think they create division. Actually, I know they create division. I'm just trying to be facetious. Number 2, no more parties. Parties only create divide. There is no reason to have parties. If you can't sit next to somebody and have a disagreeing opinion, then you're not emotionally stable enough to be in fucking government and make decisions for the country. It should never be a them versus us in parliament. It shouldn't be a them versus us in society. We are supposed to work together as a country. I live in Kelowna. If you want to run and represent Kelowna, tell us your fucking ideas. I don't need to know if you're a liberal or a conservative. That shouldn't be a thing. That shouldn't matter. What are your beliefs? What are you trying to get done for the people you represent? That's it. I don't need a fucking liberal banner, conservative banner. What's your fucking name? What do you want to get done? That's it. That's all you should have. It's an optical illusion of democracy, because democracy in a whole is 51% ruling over 49%. Very rarely in elections do you have landslides of 80 or 90% in one favor. So it's just which side gets to rule the other side, but it's an illusion of democracy, and you create division and create the sides because people are easier to control when they're divided. 101. So they must keep us divided by parties. I don't want that. I want no parties. You can have 5 different people run to represent Kelowna. I'll listen to all 5 of their fucking ideas and I'll vote for who I think is going to do the best for me. I don't need the party. None of us do. It's a manipulation tactic and it shouldn't be in politics. So yeah, that's number 2. Number 3, no more lobbyists. Lobbying is illegal. You don't get to lobby the government on your behalf. You don't get to bribe them. You don't get to do deals. You don't get to do anything. The government is supposed to be a full-time job. They only seem to want to work like 70 to 80 days a fucking year. I think it's easy to run a country. You only got to work 70, 80 days. Look at how great the country's doing. It's fucking dog shit, you people. This country used to be great. It used to be something the world fawned over. Now we're the joke of the world. I would like us to have some more self-esteem, some more pride. But apparently, if you're white and you have pride from where you're from, dear God, you must be a terrorist. But lobbying is literal corruption. Lobbying is like the superhighway of corruption. It gives you a path. It's one of the giant gaping holes in democracy that I was talking about. And to patch that, you need no more lobbyists. You shouldn't have them. Governments are there. They have the reports. They should read the reports and make the decisions. Why are you outsourcing your decision making to someone for money? Corruption. 101. So Let's take that option away. If you eliminate the options for corruption, you'd be surprised how much it goes down, just like anything in life. It's a pretty common rule of thumb, law of nature, whatever you want to call it. Number 4, companies and corporations are no longer recognized as people. That passed in 1975. That's retarded. They're not people. But yet you give them the ability to be people, and then they can give campaign contributions, and then that leads to corruption. You see where I'm going with this. Therefore, companies and corporations are no longer people. And then, tagging onto that, companies and corporations can no longer donate to political figures or groups. Full stop. We have to eliminate the ability for corruption to grow so that it doesn't grow. Now you're going to say, well, what about donations? Politicians need donations. I don't think they need donations, but they can get donations from the people. And we cap those at 10K. Because 10K isn't enough to influence anyone to sell out their country for. Even if you had a family of 20 fucking rich people all in one house that were able to give $10,000 each to one guy, 200,000, that's enough for you to sell out your entire country? I don't think so. And how many families have 20 fucking people that can afford that? Not many. So it eliminates corruption in itself, but still lets people support who they want to support. Very good. You know, business is business. Politics is politics. If you want to be in politics, you can be in politics, but you're in politics for the right reasons. You're in it to actually help people because you want to make the country better. You're not in it so that you can get kickbacks and bribes and then have a nice fancy job when you want to leave government. That's not how it works. That's corruption. Everything about our country is corrupt. I can say it 1,000 times. People have to take their head out of the sand to see it, but that's easier said than done. Politicians' salaries, big issue. They make up 30% of our budget, which is insane that we're $70 billion over budget. Of the entire budget, not even just what we're over. Like, we're over 70 billion. The entire budget, much bigger. Much, much bigger. 30% of that is fucking, and a giant portion of that is for the salaries. Get the fuck out of here, all right? And I realize that when we're looking at the amount that entails, that's healthcare workers, that's civil workers, city workers, all that. Like, I get it. Politicians are very liberal with their raises. They seem to think they do a bang-up job every year and give themselves a little nudge. You know, they make 200 and something, 260, 270,000 a year at a base, and they work 70 days a year. That's our taxpayer dollars. Take a look at the country. Does it look like you're getting $270,000 per person in government worth your while? I don't think so. Maybe I'm just bitter and jaded. So in the new country, because and I don't know, how is it even remotely legal that politicians can give themselves raises? No one else on the planet gives themselves raises. Even a CEO of a company has to go to the board to get a raise. He can't just sit at his chair and go, I fucking killed it. I'm going to write myself a check. No one else does that. Nobody. Except for the government. Give themselves raises willy-nilly. That stops in the new country. In the new country, the government salaries will be the average or median of the people you represent. If you want to make more money, make your people more money. Pretty fucking obvious. That's how you make politicians actually work and do better and care about the people. When their wage, when their work is tied in to who they're representing, and not in this, they live in Ottawa for 200 grand a year plus, and the people who they represent are struggling at $30,000 a year, where homeless people are breaking in all the time, all over the streets. They have no connection to each other. They are so out of touch on how the other one lives. Creates a resentment. So if you want to make more, you make your people more. And that goes in every aspect. That goes for provincial, that goes for city, like your cities, your regional, your provincial, your prime minister. Your prime minister or president or Caesar, whatever the fuck we want to call him, not a prime minister. We're detaching ourselves from Britain. Our president or whatever the name is that we decide, his will be an average salary of all Canadians. Therefore, I think the average salary in Canada is like $70,000. That's what you make if you want to be the leader of the country. You don't get to fucking make 500,000 plus and then have all your backroom deals. I've gone on rants many times about his fucking stock portfolio and the corruption there as well. But it's literally, it pans out the exact same. Whether you're a mayor, whether you're an MP, whether you're a premier, whether you're a president, everything is the average of who you represent. That is what you're paid in the new country. You're supposed to be in politics to help the people because you like politics. You like your job. It's not supposed to be a free gravy boat from the taxpayers. In the new country, Another one, no closed door meetings. No backroom meetings, no closed door meetings. If you can't say what your plans are for the country in front of the country, shouldn't be doing them. Pretty self-explanatory. That's another law of nature. If you can't tell people what you're doing, you probably shouldn't be doing it, right? You get taught that as a child. That's a basic fucking rule. So no, there's no backroom deals. Oh, well, we have to go make a deal. Talk about it in front of us then. We're not influencing the deal. We don't have a say. We elected you for that. But if you're making a deal, we want to know the deal, because it is very clear that the government lies to us all the fucking time. They lie about everything. The lady for the Tim Hortons shit, she tried telling the woman who was on the emails that she didn't see the emails. It's like, they'll lie right to your face and hope you don't call them out on it, or hope you're just stupid. We're not stupid. We see what you're doing. We just feel defeated, feel like there's nothing we can do. We can implement a new system. And like I said, I'm open for suggestions. I know I'm not the brightest person, but someone's got to be thinking the same as me, right? Like, someone sees that they are bringing in a new system. Whether we like it or not, this system is coming. I am trying to give us something that works for us against them, not them against us. So no closed door meetings. Say what you want to fucking do, and say it publicly, and say it fucking proud. If you're not proud about your idea, maybe go workshop it a little bit more. Maybe go run it through some friends, you know? So now that we have mitigated all the extenuating circumstances of corruption through no more lobbyists, no more parties, companies are not people, and no more donations, and the salaries are the average, and no more closed door. That mitigates a lot of room for corruption, adding those things to our current system, okay? Now, how do we track the outliers? Because even with the death penalty, and even with those mitigating circumstances, there will still be people who try to corrupt the system and be corrupt and get ahead that way. So what we do, instead of having them issue their central bank digital currencies to us where they can control what we spend, how we spend it, and where we spend it, we put their bank accounts onto the blockchain. Public record, public tracking. We get to see if you try to take any money from any fucking donors. And it's linked to your social security number or whatever your fucking number is that you have in the States. And that way we track it worldwide. It doesn't matter if you have a bank account in any other country, and if you have a company bank account, that comes on there too. Every account related to you, your wife, if you got into politics, that's how it goes. You guys are public figures now. You chose this path and this job. So every company, every person, all of that is on the blockchain. So we monitor it. And if all of a sudden you have $100,000 get dumped into one of these accounts, now you get looked at. Now you get investigated for corruption. If it is corruption and not an inheritance or something like that, if it's an inheritance, sorry for your loss, keep your money, that's fine, move along. But if it's corruption, you hang publicly. We need to get back to public execution of corruption for rape and for murder. Why are we housing these people and wasting tax dollars on this? This makes no sense. They had a chance, they fucked it up. See ya. People want to complain about all the elites. Oh, we need to depopulate the planet. Okay, start with them. Why are we saving pedophiles? Why are we saving murderers? And corruption? I know that's stiff, but you need it, because look at what happens if without it. Look at our government. Look at our country. Look at almost every country. Everything's in the shitter right now. It's all about to blow, because that's what they've intentionally destroyed in Canada. You can't bring in a new system if the current one's working well. So they destroy the system from within, and now the whole country needs a new system. They have theirs ready to usher in to us. I want us to have one. Okay, so now that we've nipped corruption in the butt, and that's all dealt with, as I've said before on other episodes, taxes. Unfortunately, taxes are a way of life when we get this big. When we have society as populated as it is, we have roads, we have running water, we have things that we need to maintain and shit like that. So I hate them, but we do need some of them. 7%, no loopholes. That's it. Your company, 7%. Person, 7%. 100K a year, million a year, 10K a year. Don't care. 7%. Even for everybody. No one's excluded. No one has loophole. No one feels like a class division. Everyone just pays the fucking same. And it's based on what you earn. If you don't want to pay, if you made $1 million and you don't want to pay $70,000, make less money. Or make more money and pay more. It's a very easy system to have people not fight and not bitch and not have a class system. Base it on how smart you are, how well you work. If you make a lot of money, great. You're only paying 7%. If you make a little bit of money, you're only paying 7%. It's an easy system, and it would, if we stopped giving away all of our fucking money, you'd be surprised how much that would actually do for our country. Voter IQ laws. I'm very passionate about this. We have way too many stupid people ruining this country. Stupid people should not have a say in what happens in a country. Full stop. If you cannot process your actions and the consequences that they may have in the future, you don't get to have a say in the future. You can participate. That's fine. You can have a kid, have a family, get a job, maybe even buy a house. There's a lot of stupid people that are way more successful than me. That's fine. But you don't get a vote. You don't get to have a say. You get to function in the society we give you. That's it. Voter IQ laws, anyone below 90 doesn't get to vote. And I realize I might be excluded from that list. I'll take an IQ test and it'll be listed on a driver's license in the top corner. So when you go vote, if you try to vote, you show up, IQ score below 80, get the fuck out of here. You don't get to vote. Above 90, 90 or above, boom. Get in there, sir or ma'am. Be honest, there ain't no its that are gonna be fucking rocking that kind of IQ. So it's a man or a woman. Now, we've done the voter IQs. I've talked about it before, that's why I'm not like ranting even more about it, but they are crucial. How to run for office in this country, for any of the offices in this country. That's why they want campaign donations. They need to have corporations giving them so much money so they can afford to run, so that they can get elected and pay people in their area. Don't we have technology? Pretty sure you can set up a Zoom and you can have your meetings if you're in politics already. You don't need to be traveling, using taxpayer dollar, flying and going to hotels and spending fucking $12,000 on a room service. You don't need to be doing that with taxpayer dollar. You can have a meeting with somebody from your home on a fucking camera and a computer. Just like you want to tell us to stay home and work during COVID, fucking stay home. You can work from the office. You can work from, when you're in Parliament, you're actually at the building working. When you're not in Parliament, you can work and have your meetings from a home office. You don't have to travel. And then people will go like, well, I need to reach people. How am I supposed to reach people if I don't go out on a campaign and have these campaign contributions? Well, there's this thing called social media that you guys like to tell us if we just buckle down and work hard, build a following. You could do it. Okay, do it then. Fucking idiots. See how easy it is to build a fucking following that you can make money from or have any fucking actual influence with. It's not that easy, but you guys seem to think it is. That's how you tell us to get with it. So if you want to run a campaign, you got social media, figure it the fuck out. Get yourself popular, get your message out there. It's the best tool on the planet, right? Having access to anybody, anywhere. You can do it. You guys tell us to do all this shit. Governments should do it. You want to lock us down, we lock you down. You want to control our money? We're going to put your money on the blockchain. I want to try to find a way to use the technology that they're trying to implement to control us, to control them. If there's better ways to do it, tell me. I'm open. But these are the ways that I have figured it out. And then running for the president or Caesar, just because I think that's a fun name. We get to choose the name of the leader, right? It doesn't fucking matter what we choose. It's all the same fucking position. So I think we should go back to a Caesar. Fucking just sounds crisp, you know? In this day and age, Caesar, whatever, is a great fucking name. Kaiser. But running for that, sorry, I'm half retarded. Running for president in this new country, you shouldn't have any campaign contributions other than from regular people. You should have to use your own money. You should be successful enough that using your own money and technology to get your point across should be enough. Why, if you're not successful, what makes you think you'll be successful running the country? What makes us feel like you'll be successful in running the country if you can't even be successful in business or successful in business and finance? Really, I don't really care if you're a successful school teacher. We saw how that went. That doesn't pan out. So if you're not successful in business, then why should you run a country? Why should you get that? Just because of who your family is? Just because of who your donors are? No. You need to earn your living on this planet. Develop skills. Be useful. If you're not useful, get the fuck out of the way. And there's a lot of people in government who are not fucking useful. They're actually quite retarded. I don't even know how they got there. The fact that they breathe and walk at the same time baffles me. Shit, I forgot. Also, no foreigners in government. How is that not a law already? How are we letting people move here from another country and then go into our government? You are literally asking for countries to spy on you and interfere with your government if you do that. The most retarded law on the fucking planet is having foreigners in your government. We have been investigated. We've found them guilty of the CCP and India, both interfering in our elections. You can come here, that's fine. In government? Fuck are we thinking? This is the holes of democracy. This is when you have stupid people voting, because stupid people are very easy to emotionalize and get worked up about things. But foreign government interference is just, you're begging for it. You're begging for foreign government interference if you allow foreigners in your government. You can not allow them in, and they're still going to find a way, or like weasel their way and corrupt somebody in the system, whatever. We'll find them. But to blatantly allow it, come on. And maybe that makes me racist for thinking that. I think it makes me smart for not wanting to have a clear, easy access into our government. And I'm dumb, and I can see that. So I don't know what we're doing here. So, to run through the list one more time: single issue ballots, no parties, no lobbyists, companies are not people, no donations from companies, no donations over 10K from people, politicians' salaries are the average of the area they represent, bank accounts are tied to the blockchain, no backroom deals, 7% tax, no loopholes, voter IQ, voter ID, very basic, 90 IQ or above gets to vote, use tech for any of your meetings and traveling. You don't have to travel for your meetings. We have tech for that. President runs on his own money. He can use technology as well. Zoom, social media, TV, YouTube, all the things. And no foreigners in government. You do all of those things on the current system that we have, make all those changes to the current system that we have. Within 10 years, this country would be the powerhouse. We have all the resources. There's no reason for us to be poor. Even the amount of resources this country has. Even if we didn't work and we just sold all the resources, we shouldn't be poor. That's how many resources we have. Like, that's how dense our fucking rock on this planet is. But yet, half of us, more than half of us, are fucking extremely poor. Like I've said, a new system is coming, whether we like it or not. I'm trying to give us one that helps us. Is it perfect? Obviously not. Is it something? That it is. And with the help of other people, we can make it better, we can grow it, and once we hit a critical mass, then we can have a revolution. Right now, it's all about the numbers, though. We need to grow the following and just let people know. So that's the list on how I think we should fix this country. I think if we implement all of those changes to the current system that we have, everything I've mentioned, I think in 10 years we would be a powerhouse. I think we would be one of the top 5 powers on this fucking planet. We have all the resources. Every fucking resource that the world needs. We are dense in this country with that. Just not using them. We're letting the government oppress us. The only way this happens is by us letting it happen. Please, take your head out of the sand. Take a look around. Don't even look at the CBC. Don't look at stats. Don't look at anything. Just look. Go for a walk, look at this country, and ask, what is better? What is better in the last 10 years? What is better in the last 15 years? What is better in the last 20 years, if you're that old, like myself? What has actually gotten better? People say all kinds of things. People say nice words all the time. What has been done? Is this country better off now than it was 20 years ago or 10 years ago? Personally, to me, in my memories and my standard of living and what I used to be able to get with my dollars, no. None of it is. None of it is. Pierre with his evolution, not revolution. The time for evolution has passed. The Carney government has proved that. For backroom deals, getting their majority through floor crosser tactics, they will have no problem now ramming these bills down our throat. Unless we do something. Evil only flourishes when good men do nothing. And when good men do nothing for too long, this is what we get. So now, it's time for good men to do bad things to save this country. My thoughts on government reform. That was the show. I am Conrad, your host. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you again for listening, and make sure to share, like, subscribe, all the things, man. Let's start a revolution.